Zion Williamson is looking, well, frankly, like Zion Williamson. And here are three facts, three opinions about what's going on with Zion Williamson and the New Orleans Pelicans. So here's the thing. Zion has been playing a lot better basketball. And, well, before Wednesday's night loss to the Cavaliers, despite, by the way, Zion was on fire, 30 plus points against the Cavaliers and in a loss. But the Pelicans have been playing a lot better. But let's talk about some three facts, three opinions. So, fact number one, going into Wednesday's game, he had 7 blocks in 3 games. And what does that say? That means Zion's getting that athleticism back. He's able to actually get up like he used to. He was never going to be back to probably where he was at Duke, where he was a high flyer. That's why he was such a big YouTube and social media sensation. But in general, he is back jumping, being all over the place, and being that dynamic player that a lot of people thought that Zion Williamson was going to be. Fact number 2, his assist percentage is comparable to that of Damian Lillard's, who's a playmaker. While the exact percentage is around 35%, that is Zion's assist percentage. It goes to show he's doing things in more ways than one, and that's huge, right? Because Zion, the thing about him was his versatility. He was able to score, play make, dunk, play defense, and do all of that. And now we're seeing hints of that here in a season where, frankly, he looks freaking good. And maybe not like what we thought, but pretty damn good. We'll talk more about that in the opinion section. Now, the third fact about Zion Williamson is he's on track to play a career high in games, which is huge. So far this year, Zion has played in 53 games, I think 54 with Wednesday's game. His previous career high was his second year in the league at 61 games played. Now, the big difference here is, if you go look at his second year, 27 points a game, 7 rebounds. This year, slightly down, 22.1 and 5.6. 30 minutes a game versus 33 minutes a game. But that doesn't mean Zion can't get back to that 2020, 2021 level with just some more reps, continually staying healthy. But now let's get to my 3 opinions about Zion, because these are what are important. Opinion number 1. He's only 23 years old. So not only will he have time to figure out his game, not only will he have time to figure out his stuff off the court, but he's going to have time to figure out, like, what am I going to do with my weight, how to keep it down. Because let's be frank, I know he has a big contract, but there are some stipulations in the contract that it's not fully guaranteed. So, and they can move off on it. So he's playing for that big money, that second $200 million, $300 million contract that Jaylen Brown got. And to be frank, can we really say that can Zion Williamson be just as good as Jaylen Brown's been? Yeah, absolutely. I think he could be better than that. So that's something, like, he's 23 years old. You know, a lot of players, like, look at Michael Jordan, came in the league 21, 22 years old. Zion is what, in his fourth season, and he's only 23 years old. And that takes me to my next thing. I think he has what it takes to be all-star caliber. I think he has what it takes to be Hall of Fame caliber. But I am not quite sure, does he have the ability to be first team all NBA type of caliber? It's top 5 player in the league caliber type of game. Now, that is not a great thing, right? You probably, when you thought Zion Williamson was coming in the league, you're talking about maybe someone who could be the next face of the NBA. And I don't necessarily think that's going to be possible anymore. I think there's a lot of American-born players that shown a better trajectory than him. Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum. These are just the American-born players. Wemby, Shea, both international players. Kind of. Shea's in Canada, if you want to consider that international. But I think he has what it takes to be an all-star level player. Maybe not quite that absolute all-NBA first-team caliber, and that's okay. And my third take is, with the Pelicans having him and Brandon Ingram on the same team, I think both of those guys have what it takes to be a number 2 on a championship team. And really, if they want to take that next step, you got to find a number 1. Now, look, I know there's always been that tantalization. Could Zion ever go to New York City and play for the Knicks and be their superstar? Well, if he does, I think he's a number 2. He is Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson is not going to win you an NBA championship. I'm sorry, Knicks fans, but Jalen Brunson as your number 2 piece could win you an NBA championship. I hope the Dallas Maverick fans aren't listening right now because that probably hurts because you probably could have re-signed him. So I think Zion in general here could be a great number 2, be a guy that is a number 2 on a championship type of team. And I think we were all expecting him to be a number 1. But honestly, Zion is just looking like Zion Williamson now. And that should give New Orleans fans a huge like boost of confidence that maybe they found the guy, maybe he's found himself, and maybe he's ready to take that next step and become a all-star caliber player. And if he does at age 24 next season, that's great. A 24-year-old all-star, what teams, you know how many teams would just like love to build around a 24-year-old all-star like Zion? A lot of them. So Zion's starting looking like Zion. The Pelicans themselves, they are having one of the untold stories in the NBA. I know they lost to Cleveland today, but in general, this team is the 5th seed, and they're probably, with Kawhi Leonard's injury, probably could go all the way up to the 4th seed in the West, which, I mean, they'll probably face the Clippers. I don't think necessarily they're going to get out of the first round, but you never know. If Kawhi Leonard let's say Kawhi Leonard does miss time, and the Pelicans are the 4th seed, and the Clippers are the 5th seed, could you win with home court advantage? Quite possibly. So my name is George Arjour. This is Hoops on Tap, part of the Sports on Tap network. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. This is my basketball channel. If you want to see my main channel, it's George on Tap. Make sure you like and subscribe and leave a comment on what you think of Zion Williamson. Is Zion Williamson finally starting to look like Zion Williamson again?